Well, whatever Tex McClatchy does, he does with a flair. Halfway or so-so is just not good enough. Tex and his wife Millie have been running folks up and down the Colorado River near Moab for almost 30 years now. And Tex, it seems, has always been a dreamer. Nobody had any boats like Tex wanted, so one of the first things he did back in the 70s was to build one like he wanted.
And it's got a whistle. Let me listen to this whistle. It's an old steam whistle out of a museum.
Whistle that flows in one ear, turns your eyeballs crossways, and sort of flows out the other. He built by hand a Mississippi River paddle wheeler, and believe it or not, he ran this monster up and down the muddy and shallow Colorado River at Moab for a few years. In fact, the maiden voyage of the Canyon King didn't leave as good an impression on all the folks aboard as it should have. The governor of Utah was along, and Tex McClatchy promptly got the 100-foot-long, 80-ton paddle wheeler stuck sideways in the river on a sandbar. It took 2 hours to dislodge it, but still in all, it began for Tex a 9-year love affair with this paddle wheel riverboat.
And in high school, I taught a lot of American history. And in American history, it's just full of early-day river and paddle wheel activity. And being an old boater for the last 25 years, it kind of grabbed me. And I decided someday I'm going to build myself a paddle wheeler.
Well, he finally sold the paddle wheeler to Del Webb, and today it plies the waters of Lake Powell, dinner cruises, dances, kind of fun. All because old Tex thought it'd be fun.
If you can't have fun doing what you're doing in life, then you're doing the wrong thing.
The problem here on this part of the Colorado River is the sandbars. Since the river pretty much has the same color as a sandbar most of the time anyhow, they are easy for boatmen to discover suddenly. Of course, old Tex McClatchy knows the river pretty well after 26 or 27 years around these parts, but every now and then he does discover a sandbar. So he built his Wonder Boat.
Each one of these engines are 400 horses. This boat will gross 24,000 pounds with a full load of 60 people. And it's got to do this at about 25, 30 miles an hour in 4 inches of water, because sometimes in July and August we got to run in 4 inches of water, and we reverse the thrust. We can't reverse machinery. We are jet. I call it the Wonder Boat since it runs with 60 people in 4 inches of water, 30 miles an hour.
The chief lookout and the shotgun rider on these trips is McClatchy's colleague Bell. Not only does Tex's Wonder Boat carry whole busloads of people down through the sandstone canyons of one of the West's mightiest rivers, Tex can take out the front 3 rows of seats, put a 3 or 4 piece band on the front deck, and the Wonder Boat turns into a dance boat, meandering off into the romantic shadows of the canyon evening.
And I have an attraction to water, but I learned something. Everybody has an attraction to water. Well, certainly part of it's just a bathtub, but I'm doing what I like to do, and I'm getting paid for it. And the people put the gasoline in, and I just haul them up and down here so I can go play. I play for a living.
Tex McClatchy. No store-bought boat for this operation. It has to work the way Tex wants it to work. Tex, of course, comes from Texas. He was a teacher at first and wandered around looking to teach in some places that suited his fancy. He was practicing a philosophy that he's had all along.
You can't have fun doing what you're doing in life, then you're doing the wrong thing. And that's the way Millie and I look at it.
He met his wife Millie here when he was kind of reluctant to return her deposit for a river trip she'd canceled. Well, they got married shortly afterwards, and back in '73, Tex started building his lodge here. The lodge is sort of a helter-skelter this and that of ideas and dreams.
We've done it by ourselves, by hand, and these logs come out of the La Salle Mountains out here to my left. And those are just a few logs at a time, because some of these weigh up to 1 ton. I like the magic of old things, old log cabins. We like people. And I guess that's why we designed the house like we did, because we sure see a lot of different kind of people.
And Tex called out, he says, That's living.
Yeah,
He's been around the whole
living.
area, spinner today. Now that's fun.
No, that's living.
And then we think, yeah.
We're among 5% of the American people that are doing what we want to do for a living.
But Tex's real love is out here, out on the muddy river that flows past his lodge.
We like what we're doing on the water. Our business is water business because we like water. And we just happen to find out that other people like water, so we put the two together. Look out, boy, here they come, and here we go.
Well, a long old day might end, or at least get broken up a bit, by a visit to the streetcar up on top of the lodge. It looks kind of weird, and like some other things, it's not quite finished yet, and it's a long climb up the stairs, but you can't beat the view and the breeze in your face.
Boy, I took a liking to log cabins, so I decided that when I got to where I could, I was going to build a log cabin. And I have, but I made it my way. And the streetcar is part of the structure of this house, tying the roof together, and a place for me to sit and look at all the pretty scenery that I live in.
Tex McClatchy, living on the river, like he wants to live. This is Bill Leverton, News Center 10, just a bit off the Arizona Road.